I mean, everybody's like, man, ain't no, he got no chance. Tank told you a couple of days earlier, hey, you not going the distance. Y'all shake, pretty little 250, whatever the case may be. You go into that fight, you know Tank's a slow starter, builds up as the fight progresses, know he's trying to land, hook to the body, come up top with it. I thought even without the knockdown, I thought he won it. I thought he had. I mean, look, I know Tank landed punches, but
because he was aggressive.
Roach was the more aggressive fighter.
We will never see that fight happening again. It just will not happen. Gervonta Tank Davis doesn't like hard fights. It's that simple. We've seen it over and over. He fought a Ryan Garcia drain. He fought a very inexperienced Rolly Romero.
Shannon Sharp didn't hold back when he criticized Gervonta Davis for not agreeing to a rematch with Lamont Roach. He made the point that the fight should happen, especially since Roach deserved a win if the knockdown had been counted. Sharp also called out Davis for avoiding tough opponents, saying it's time to face real challenges and give fans a rematch they've been waiting for.
If they have a rematch.
Yeah, I mean, they have to, huh? Hey,
but look, there's enough fighters in that class. You got Lomachenko, you got Shakur, you got Haney, you got Garcia, you got Tank, you got Roach. Come on, man, make these damn fights happen. Stop ducking and dodging each other. What the...
Sharp's criticism carries even more weight, especially since Gervonta Davis himself admitted that Lamont Roach has better skills.
Press conference, and you looked at him and you said, you really should have waited. You took this fight too early. You really should have waited. That's what you told him before the fight, and then you went and put him to sleep. This cat right here, Lamont Roach, he ain't saying something like that about you, is he? He's not doing that, is he?
No, but Lamont had more experience than Roach. I mean, I'm bugging. Lamont had more skills than Frank Martin, for sure.
Okay, I got you.
Many boxing fans and experts think Gervonta Davis will probably avoid a rematch with Lamont Roach, based on his history of steering clear of tough fights. This belief is backed up by his past choices, like not going after a second fight with Ryan Garcia or facing other high-risk opponents during his career.
We will never see that fight happening again. It just will not happen. Gervonta Tank Davis doesn't like hard fights. It's that simple. We've seen it over and over. He fought a Ryan Garcia drained. He fought a very inexperienced Rolly Romero. He will not fight Devin Haney. He will not fight Shakur. He will not fight Pitbull Cruz again. He will not fight Lamont Roach again. He will not fight Tefimo. He will not fight, He will not fight those guys. That's just not who Tank is.
Davis's underwhelming performance against Lamont Roach left many fans feeling disappointed and questioning if he's still at his peak. The fact that his longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, wasn't there only added to the speculation that Davis struggled without his guidance. Some people believe Ford's departure may have contributed to Davis not looking as sharp as he once did.
Davis versus Lamont Roach goes to a majority decision draw, with Tank retaining his WBA lightweight title. Now, I did not score this fight a draw. I had it 7-5 to Lamont Roach. I thought he had the ring generalship and effective pressure. He was landing the jab and effective combinations. Tank, as usual, had a very low output, and he was relying on one big shot. I gave Roach the first 3 rounds, Tank the next 3 rounds, and then Roach 4 the last 6 rounds to win the fight. Not to mention, Tank did take a knee in the middle of the fight. By rule, that should have been considered a knockdown. Yes, it was to get his mouthpiece, and that's why they didn't rule it a knockdown. But anytime a fighter takes a knee, that's a knockdown. And that would have given Roach 1 more point to win the fight. Now, I'm sure they'll run it back. I mean, Lamont Roach absolutely deserves a rematch. He just had the fight of his life. He wasn't scared to go toe-to-toe with Tank. Landing his combinations, the bigger counters, and the more effective shots. He definitely deserves a second payday. Now, in the co-main event, Gary Antoine Russell put on an amazing performance. I think he won 11 or 12 rounds against Raya Valenzuela. Great hand speed, good combinations, masterclass to win the WBA title. And then in the featured bout, Alberto Puello beat Sandor Martin to retain his WBC title. He landed the cleaner left hands, definitely won the last 2 to 3 rounds to edge the fight. But overall, good card. I do think Roach won the fight, though.
Shannon Sharp criticized Gervonta Tank Davis, saying he lacked focus during his fight with Lamont Roach. He pointed out that Tank's mind didn't seem fully in the ring, which could have impacted his performance. Many fans agree, thinking that distractions outside of boxing played a role in his struggles during the highly anticipated match.
I feel like Tank overall, like the bigger picture, he just wasn't focused for real. He, doing a lot of arguing in the ring and just a lot of stuff that wasn't like, he wasn't just focused. He wasn't all the way locked in the ring. You heard him say something like, it's a lot of things going on outside the ring that he was leading up to the fight, and shit, that's natural, you know what I'm saying? It's normal. Shit, I was going through the same thing with this last fight, you know, so I just feel like he just wasn't focused.
The first fight between Tank Davis and Lamont Roach attracted a lot of attention, with a pay-per-view buy rate of 149,000. While the numbers were decent, they didn't meet expectations, sparking conversations about what factors may have affected the event's commercial performance.
So, Rick Glazer is reporting that Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach sold 149,000 pay-per-view buys. And he tweeted this report at Turkey Ala Sheep. Coincidence? Truthful? Do you trust Rick Glazer's reporting on this issue? If you do, let me know why. If you don't, let me know why not. But you best believe I have a long video coming on this later today. Y'all be sure to check that out. We'll see y'all soon. Peace.
Before their first fight, Lamont Roach made sure to include a clause in the contract for an immediate rematch. He expressed his readiness and eagerness to face Davis again, stating that the rematch would happen whenever Davis's camp decided it was time.
I just so happen to be a boxing fan that the fact that I do watch him fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really like boxing.
Are you open to immediate rematch?
In my contract, immediate rematch was signed. I signed for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight.
Right.
Just in case he lost or just in case it was a draw.
So when you got a rematch clause, how long we taking?
It's up to the A side and when they want to fight. So I'm thinking it's going to be soon. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. Let's say that.
What is soon to you? When you say soon to me, I'm thinking a month.
I'm thinking July.
I'm thinking July for sure.
When asked about the chance of a rematch with Roach, Gervonta Davis seemed unsure. He mentioned that he didn't expect the rematch to happen this year, leaving fans and analysts to wonder what his next move might be.
Do you want that rematch next? And if so, how likely it is that we're to see that fight happen again this year?
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
Well, what is?
You might say it in a minute. You definitely might say it in a minute.
Henry Garcia, a well-known figure in the boxing community, expressed doubts about Davis's performance against Roach. He pointed out that the absence of Davis's longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, could have impacted his performance. Garcia also suggested that personal issues outside the ring might have played a role in how Davis performed during the fight.
No way you could say Tank won. There's no way.
Do you think that he's diminished in some way, or do you think that just mentally he just wasn't there for the fight?
Well, a little bit of both. His age is catching up to him. His legs aren't there as he used to be. And, he switched his trainer, that's could be another factor.
With Barry Hunter being the head trainer and Coach Calvin being outside.
Yeah, but he snapped at Calvin too. So that's, there was something going on. I really don't know, and I couldn't really speculate on that because I don't know. But I know that something was bothering Tank because Tank is a good fighter and he's out to hurt you, but hey, Lamont Roach stood his ground, and he did a great job.
Some boxing experts have criticized Gervonta Davis for allegedly picking easier opponents throughout his career. They argue that Lamont Roach, seen as a carefully chosen opponent, ended up presenting unexpected challenges. This result has sparked speculation that Davis may avoid a rematch to protect his undefeated record.
Tank been cherry picking for a long time, but I think Tank got the talent to be an all-time great. He just don't want to have a resume for whatever reason. So I think this is going to force him to go see people.
Step up a little bit.
It showed even his fans, it kind of took that allure off. Like, oh, this nigga not perfect. He can't just whoop anybody ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and I think Lamont should have won the fight on the technicality. If it wasn't a knockdown, the ref wouldn't have started counting. He started counting. He only stopped because Tank told him to stop. He told that nigga, no. I'm like, no, stop, nigga. I felt he was like, oh, my bad.
Yeah. You take away the jabs, Tank landed more. Percentage was higher. I'm all about connection, bro. I think Tank did a better job in the fight. I gave Lamont maybe one of the early rounds. After round 6 or 7, I think Roach put in very good work and kind of matched whatever Tank was doing, or Tank matched whatever Lamont started doing. The technicality, bro, that was different.
During the first fight between Davis and Roach, Davis faced heavy criticism for his performance, which led to an unexpected reaction from his own fans. The stadium was filled with boos aimed at Davis, showing the audience's disappointment and adding pressure for a potential rematch.
Gervonta doing this shows that it wasn't an outside strange occurrence, that it may just be a part of his DNA. For him to get hit in amateurs and then take a step back and take a knee when he obviously wasn't hurt, it just shows to me that instead of gritting it out, all right, and possibly get knocked out or taking those chances, he'd rather take a knee to disrupt the momentum and then start over. That's how I'm taking it. It can be a great strategy, or it can be the bully complex. That when you meet somebody and they're not fearing you, or they're not retreating or backing away from you, and they're showing poise and the ability to withstand your output and give some back, like any bully, they kind of unravel.
Canelo Alvarez weighed in on the controversy surrounding Davis's decision to take a knee during the fight. Alvarez argued that this should have been ruled as a knockout, suggesting that the referee's choice to ignore it was questionable.
He take a knee. You need to lose like 10-8 that round at least, no? And plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face. That's a disqualification. For sure.
The 9th round of the Davis-Roach fight became a major point of controversy when Davis took a knee, but wasn't officially ruled as a knockdown. The New York State Athletic Commission later acknowledged a technical issue that prevented officials from properly reviewing the potential knockdown, which only added to the debates about the fight's outcome.
His decisions or knockdowns. Some skeptics have suggested that Willis's call benefited Davis unfairly, but we do not subscribe to that notion. In our long experience judging fights, we see no evidence of favoritism, only a referee prioritizing the physical safety of a fighter who appeared compromised by an eye injury, which I actually get. I understood that statement because, hey, look, Steve Willis he didn't call it a knockdown.
You take a knee like that looks like a knockdown. All right.
So I think it's going to be very difficult for the New York State Athletic Commission to review this and then call it a knockdown. Because here's the thing. The fight could have gone completely differently if Gervonta was told that it was a knockdown officially. Gervonta could have then responded differently, because let the truth be known, Gervonta didn't even know it was the 12th round when it was the 12th round. He thought it was the 8th.
Forgot where he was at. He thought he was still in the 8th round. He thought he still had rounds to go.
12th round. He said, damn, it's the 12th? Yeah, it's the 12th and you're down.
Addressing the 9th round controversy, Gervonta Davis explained that he took a knee because something got in his eye and he didn't want it to be noticed. He admitted that he wasn't aware he could be disqualified for it, saying, "I didn't know I could get disqualified for this." His admission has sparked even more debate about the fight's out.
But I must say, do it enough.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on? And
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning, and like you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than But I didn't really know that you can get disqualified for all that, or when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell?
After their contentious bout, tensions between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach escalated on social media, especially on Twitter. Both fighters went back and forth in public exchanges, debating the outcome of their first fight and the chance of a rematch, keeping fans and analysts hooked on the ongoing drama.
He forget that, let me take a knee. That's a knockdown. But either way, it looked like they may have an immediate rematch. Roach and Gervonta Tank Davis goes back and forth on X, and here's what they say. Which it seems to me that, okay, if the New York State Athletic Commission overturns the result of the fight, then yeah, it's an immediate rematch anyway. Like Lamont Roach said, he has it in the contract. But if it remains a draw, it looks like Tank's still going to push for the rematch. And I'm hearing that, the fight that they were going to have, which would delay this rematch, was a fight with Pitbull. You could argue that a rematch with Lamont Roach would be far bigger than a rematch with Pitbull. But let me know how you feel in the comments below. Showbiz adult.
Several boxing analysts have reviewed the Davis-Roach fight and concluded that, even without counting the controversial 9th-round incident as a knockdown, Lamont Roach seemed to have won at least 3 more rounds than Gervonta Davis. This analysis has sparked stronger calls for a rematch and raised doubts about the original.
That's why I called it cherry pick. And he got his ass kicked, in my opinion. I know people going to come for me, but I had him winning. I had him up at least 3 rounds. At least 3 rounds.
Not including the knockdown.
Yeah. It was, to me, if it would have been 116, 112, I'd have been okay with that.
So
in Roach's favor.
You let your psychology get to you too, huh?
Hey, I know what I was watching.
What did you have it after 4 rounds, Zatel?
4 rounds.
2-2.
I'm sorry, after 6. Why did I say 4?
4-2.
Because I had it 4-2.
4-2 Davis.
I had it 4-2 Davis. What did you have it after 6?
I had it 5-1 for Roach.
For Roach?
He said, I brought you on the show, now. That's why.
Listen.
At the end, I felt like I had Roach winning. Don't get me wrong.
At the end of 12, I had 7-5 Roach. But.
Yeah, I had 7-5 Roach.
Say again?
Didn't some of the judges give the first round to Tank?
I think so. I think he might be right about that.
How? He landed 1 punch.
Yeah.
Roach landed 3 punches to his 1, and he was the aggressor. How did Tank win that round?
Yeah.
Because he's Tank, Naeem.
A growing sentiment among boxing fans and analysts is that Gervonta Davis may avoid a rematch with Lamont Roach. This speculation comes from Davis's history of steering clear of tough rematches, including his decision not to go after a second fight with Ryan Garcia and other challenging opponents in the past.
We got to talk about it. So, Tank officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already notable. The fact that he went toe-to-toe with Tank on a decision that ended in a draw, whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. Because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, the Shakur Stevensons, and etc., the Devin Haney's, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else. And that is the hairstylist situation. In my humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing was going to look at them like, I don't want her braiding my hair. No one would have said that. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims, got all his receipts that no one needed, no one asked for, saying, oh, this had no grease or oil in it. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet, or should she have did what she did, which is spoke up? You let me know.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult made a bold prediction about a potential rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach, stating that Roach would secure a knockout victory. He pointed out Davis's struggles without his longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, and the controversy surrounding their first fight, making a second bout even more important. Showbiz emphasized that if the rematch happens, Roach will enter with confidence, believing he has what it takes to finish what he started and hand Davis.
You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? That is it. Lamont, please say that in the second fight. Any questions? You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, you got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, hey, bruh, be on that. Because here's the thing. He never hurt Roach. Roach just waited. And Roach was squared up and turned sideways. And I'm like, oh my God. I didn't think he had that. He was like, I'm like, oh my. And then he just sitting there like, you can't. I know what you're going to do because I've trained with you since we were kids. Tarver beat Roy, but he knew Roy since amateurs. Roy said he never liked fighting sparring partners because they know you so well. I should have listened to Roy.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned and we'll see you next time.